Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Lewis. I'm the instructor for this course, and Pierre Matte is our host for Bellevue College. I think we have a couple more folks just continuing to join us. If you're using the computer-to-computer connection, the VoIP, recommend that if you can, please use headphones or else mute until you are going to plan to speak, okay? Thanks very much. That helps quite a bit. Pierre, do you want to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your role there at Bellevue? And then I'm going to introduce myself and ask everybody else on the line to introduce themselves as well.
Sure thing, Steve. Hi, everyone. I am Pierre Matte. I am your student navigator at Bellevue College. I'm responsible for two things. One is getting you into classes, and two is providing career services for when it's time for you to go out there into the job market. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll pop my email address into the chat box, and you can email me if you want to know anything career services related.
Great. Thanks very much. And you work sort of in a team with Jessica Hemker, the student coach, no?
I do. I work with Jennifer, and unfortunately she can't be here tonight. But yes, Jennifer is your student services, so you probably have all emailed her at some point to get some information about the courses. Yeah.
And we also have with us this evening Esther Daniels, who's the program manager for the Healthcare Data Analytics Certificate Program. Esther, I saw you just a moment ago. Are you handy where you could say hello to the class?
Yeah, hi. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
I can hear you.
All right. Well, I'm so glad that you all could make it tonight. We're really excited to have Steve teaching the Applied Statistics class, and I hope you all enjoy it as much as you can enjoy stats.
Come on now, that's a bad rap.
He'll make it fun, I promise.
Well, Esther, thank you, and thanks to you, Pierre, too, because you folks have been great resources to me, and I know that you will be to the students as well. So let me say a few words about myself. My academic background is in quantitative research methods and healthcare administration. And I actually started out in academia, but I've worked primarily in payment and delivery reform, quality improvement, including lean initiatives, and healthcare policy development. And most recently, I retired from the State Healthcare Authority, where I staffed a pilot project in medical homes and also a healthcare data employer educator forum, which was very strongly supported by Bellevue. And in my ongoing academic career, I've taught not only statistics, but also epidemiology, quantitative methods, and the principles of managed care, and have served as a thesis advisor to master's candidates at both. So I've taught at both the graduate and undergraduate levels. And I have to say, I feel really privileged to have been asked by Bellevue to participate in this very, very exciting initiative of the new certificate program in healthcare data analytics. The vast increase in both the quantity and quality of data that has emerged just in the last few years presents a hugely valuable resource that's only beginning to be mined. And people like yourselves are going to be in the front lines of really capturing the value of the new interoperable electronic health records and multi-payer claims and billings systems, and the interaction between data elements from those two classes of sources, plus the major improvement in epidemiology data sets the world is going to be relying very heavily on people like you, and I'm very excited about having a chance to participate in developing you as a resource to make use of that data resource. So that's really all that I wanted to say at this point about me. If you have any questions, I'll obviously be happy to answer them by email or other contact. But at this point, I'd like to ask each of you individually to just tell us a little bit about yourselves. I don't know how well you know each other. I assume that you are sharing in other classes like the data standards class, so you have had an opportunity to meet each other, but I would like to meet each of you individually by the means of this electronic connection and ask you just to tell a little about yourself, in particular about how the healthcare data analytics certificate fits into your educational and or professional path. So would anyone volunteer to start? Please.
I will be.
All right.
Hi, this is Courage.
Hi, Courage.
Hi, my name is Courage Razvan. My background is in computer science. I have a bachelor in computer science. I had the privilege to work with Pierre on my resume because I was looking for an employment. And I had the privilege also to communicate with Esther through email to get to this program. And I'm very happy to be in this program. And what else I wanted to say, my first question for you would be that how much of this, I understand this is applied statistics, and how much of it are we going to actually apply? Are we going to apply our knowledge to all the healthcare data in this course?
Some of the exercises do relate specifically to healthcare data, both in the existing curriculum that we are using from Carnegie Mellon, but also in the assessment assignments, the 3 assessment assignments. But the main focus of the course is learning how to identify which statistical analysis tools to use with which kinds of research questions and which kinds of data, so that it would be applicable across the board, whether you're talking about clinical data or business data, so that it would be useful for somebody in a provider setting or a payer setting or a regulatory agency.
Okay, thank you. Also, I'm very much interested to know about this course, and as I mentioned before, I am seeking an employment. That's why I applied for this course, and I was looking for this for a long time. I could not find any program like that.
Well, it's a new program, so
it is.
That's why it hasn't been available. Yeah.
I'm very happy to be here.
Well, good. Looking forward to working with you. Thanks a lot.
You are.
Who's next?
Hi, this is Madhu Stefan.
Hi, Madhush.
Yes, I have a background in statistics, but it's been a while. Yes, I can refresh my statistics knowledge as well as learn new things about healthcare. But most of my work experience has been in testing, software testing. So I'm hoping that this course will be a good mixture of my educational background as well as work experience. And I hope to leverage that for better opportunities.
Great, and I think you will find it useful in that respect, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Looking forward.
Anybody else?
I will go next.
Okay, sure.
My name is Renia Jeffers, and I was working in IT, supporting various application domains, but I have never done any job in healthcare. So for the last couple of years, I really wanted to transition to healthcare IT, but I couldn't find any right program to make the move. So this program sounds like the perfect opportunity for me to make this transition. I'm really looking forward to taking all the classes, starting with applied statistics. This is my first class in the program.
Great. Well, I think you will find it definitely applicable to the kind of transition you want to make. So that's excellent. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello. This is Pallavi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Yeah. So my education hasn't been a direct, doesn't have a direct link to healthcare or data analytics. I got my master's in analytical chemistry, and I also have a bachelor's in classical music. So my experience so far has been in performing and teaching. I taught music as well as science and math. And I'm looking for a career change. So I'm looking for a career change here. This field really interests me because I took some database related courses, and I got really interested in the field. And I am also interested in medicine, and I hope to make use of this to find a job. So that's about me.
Great. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
It sounds like a very interesting background, and you may find it surprisingly applicable.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah. Who would like to go next?
I can go next.
All right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hiwat. My background is economics. I have a bachelor's degree in economics and a master's degree in public policy. So why I'm taking this course is because I'm very passionate about health sector, especially in global health. So I have a plan in the future to do my PhD in global health and work with healthcare data modeling and work in developing countries. So that's why I'm doing this course. So hopefully this course will help me achieve that goal. So thank you.
Thank you. And yes, I think you will find it relevant. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Steve and everyone. I'm Padmaja here.
Hello.
Hey. Hi. Actually, I volunteer in one of the hospitals in Portland, Oregon, doing as a data analyzing with a small data.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I did some projects like utilization review and all those stuff. So I got lots of excitement. I just wanted to improve my skills with big data.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's the reason for me taking this course.
So you're coming at it with a running start.
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Excellent. That's great.
Thank you. So far, I enjoyed the course. It's really nice.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Let's see. I don't believe we've heard from Sadaf yet.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Sadaf, and my background is in biomedical sciences. Hi. Could you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Sadaf, and my background is in biomedical sciences. I have a bachelor's in that, and I wanted to pursue my career further, but I couldn't find a job with the degree I had. So I found this program at W College, and it really interests me. So I started this program, and so far I really like it, and I'm enjoying the course I'm taking already, and looking forward to this STAT course.
Great, great, excellent. And you come with a very relevant background as well, so that's excellent. Let's see, who are we missing?
Jessica?
Oh, hi, Jessica.
Hi, sorry. So I actually have a nursing background. I was a nurse for quite a while in the neonatal intensive care unit, and then moved over into the informatics field. And actually now my main job right now is reporting and data mining. So I work with our business intelligence tool, and I create dashboards. So I'm really good at getting the data and providing the data, but I cannot interpret it. So I felt like that was a skill that I'm definitely lacking and that I need, because that's always the second question is, well, what does this trend mean? Is it making a difference or is it not? So,
right. So what you want to move on? You want to move on from descriptive to inferential or parametric statistics. Sounds like. Yeah. Sounds good. All right. Yep. We'll be getting there. So that's good. Yeah. Okay. Are we missing anybody else?
You're missing me, Birgit Hansen.
Hello. Hello.
I joined a little late. I thought it didn't start until 7:30.
No problem.
I come from a business intelligence background. I have been a developer at Microsoft. And before that, I worked in healthcare at UW Medicine. So I would just really like to learn to apply my existing skills to the healthcare environment.
Well, there are certainly going to be lots of opportunities to do that. So that's a very, very good target. Excellent target.
All right. I look forward to it.
Great. Are we missing anyone else, or have we captured everybody? Well, it sounds like everybody is coming really from a very, very relevant background, although, as you heard, they cover a very wide spectrum of academic and professional preparation. But what all of you seem to share in common is the desire to put your backgrounds to use in making intelligent decision support efforts, making use of the extremely valuable new resources in healthcare data that are very, very rapidly evolving in one way or another, at one level or another. And this class, I think, is going to be a very useful tool in that quest for each of you. Statistical analysis is one of the basic elements in decision support, in business intelligence, in all of the applications of analytics, and in healthcare in particular. We're still very much writing the book about how to make use, particularly of the big data available, and how to actually get some utility out of the fire hose of information coming at us. So what we're going to be talking about in this class is some of the very simple mechanics of doing those analyses for providing useful decision support. I want to talk a little bit. First, let me stop and see if there are any additional questions at this point. Then I want to talk a little bit about the structure of the course. If not, I'll go ahead then. If you've had a chance to look at the Statistical Reasoning Syllabus from Carnegie Mellon University, from their Open Learning Initiative, you have a flavor for the structure and the nature of this course. We will be, for the first time, using a curriculum that was developed essentially, actually, as a self-taught online course. And I'll get back to that in a moment. It's, I think, very impressive. After I took the course myself to familiarize myself with it, I told the team at Bellevue that I certainly wished they'd had something like this decades ago when I was studying statistics for the first time. In particular, what impresses me about this course is two major elements. First, it focuses very, very clearly on the two drivers of statistical analysis: the research questions you want to answer and the data you have to work with to answer those questions. That is the most useful focus I can think of for structuring a course that tells you how to do analysis. The second thing that I think is particularly valuable about this, and I think probably, Jessica, you could relate to this particularly, is the importance of integrating analysis into the design of any investigation or any research effort from the start, rather than tacking it on at the back end and trying to make sense of numbers that may or may not have any quality to them at all. Those two characteristics of this course really are what make it, for me, particularly valuable. A third thing that I think is also contributing to the utility of this course and the user-friendliness of it, if you will, is the fact that it talks very much in layman's terms. You will be using technical vocabulary. You will be using terms that you haven't probably used before, most of you at least, in your careers or in your education. But they are presented and dealt with in terms that do not require you to have any specialized knowledge going into the course. You are expected to have a little bit of familiarity with algebra, but you don't have to use algebra in the course. One of the good things about it is that it takes full advantage of the fact that a lot of the mechanics of calculation that in my day as a student we had to do manually are now done with a few clicks of software. And there's no point, I think, in spending a great deal of time learning the mechanics of something that is done by software, and it's much more valuable to spend your time designing your work and monitoring the quality of what you're working with in order to assure that the results you get are actually going to be useful. So as I say, I was very, very pleased when I got some exposure to the course that this is the tool we're going to be working with. You're going to find that it lays out a concept or a proposition in terms that are easily understood. It provides very good examples, most of which are drawn from real-life research projects, many of them in healthcare, not all of them, but many of them. It gives you ample opportunities to test your capture of the ideas involved. And at the end of each section, it even includes a checklist of questions for you to go through to ensure that you really have understood what it is that you've been working with. So it's very user-friendly, it's very supportive, and I think it's very easy to negotiate your way through. Now, I have to admit that, you know, as I was going through the course, I found it very straightforward, very unambiguous, but I've been working with some of these ideas and terms and concepts for longer than I care to admit. So what seems straightforward to me may not seem that way to some of you who may be approaching it for the first time. And I'll get back to that in a moment. So I want to get back for a moment to the point that I sort of passed over, and that's the idea that this was actually designed by Carnegie Mellon as a largely self-taught course. And so that raises the reasonable question of what value does an instructor add? And given that I'm not particularly decorative, I had better be useful. So what I hope to contribute is in three main areas. First, I want to be able to add some context to the concepts of data analysis specific to the kinds of research questions that are emerging in healthcare as we discover the potential of these new data resources and learn that there are new classes of questions that we can explore using data analysis tools. And I think you'll find a little sense of that in the assessment activities that are part of the course, and we'll be talking about those in a few minutes. I think a second thing I want to be able to do is to reinforce some of the points that are very strongly emphasized in the Carnegie Mellon curriculum, particularly around the area of the importance of data quality for being able to support useful decision support downstream. There's no home of the garbage in, garbage out syndrome more familiar than statistical analysis. And being sure that you actually have data you can work with in a useful way is something that the Carnegie Mellon materials emphasize, and I want to be able to reinforce as we go through the course. And then finally, what I also hope to contribute is where there is ambiguity, where what may seem to me when I was going through the course fairly straightforward doesn't come out that way or doesn't seem that way, that I can help bridge the sort of conceptual gap or the cognitive gap to make the materials a little bit clearer and a little bit more straightforward. I have to admit that I still remember both vividly and uncomfortably how much I struggled with, for example, the concept of the difference between a sample distribution and a sampling distribution and the implications of that for the ability to perform inference. That's probably going to be the most sensitive and challenging piece of this course. The Carnegie Mellon team recognized it. They have put a lot of effort into making that conceptual transition as easy or manageable as possible. But that's going to be something that we're going to be working with quite a bit. And if that is a challenge, I want to be there to help work one's way through it. Once you get past it, it seems, oh yes, that was obvious. But up until that point, it probably doesn't seem remotely obvious. So that's what I see myself doing here primarily. I do want to be a resource in any way that I can beyond that rather narrow scope. And please, by all means, access me to the extent you think I can possibly be useful, not only in the mechanics of the course, but in the ways that it relates to the other aspects of your educational pursuits. Certainly. I've served as a faculty advisor at one point to over 100 undergraduate students at the same time. So I have a pretty clear sense of the empathy needed to make that kind of relationship successful. So having said that, let's get into it just a little bit mechanically. I don't know how many of you have had a chance to look at the Carnegie Mellon syllabus, their curriculum, and the curriculum for our version of the course, the Bellevue course, which I believe was published just this morning. But mechanically or structurally, the Carnegie Mellon course is broken into 4 units. Data production, exploratory analysis, the application of probability, and inference. And across those 4 units, there are 12 what they call modules or clusters of instructional material. Our Bellevue curriculum for this course overlays that structure and is broken into 6 modules. We use the term module differently. We use it generally in a way that corresponds to the units in the Carnegie Mellon model. So the Bellevue course is broken into 6 modules, roughly mapping to the Carnegie Mellon units. So the first 2 modules of our curriculum corresponds to the first 2 modules of the Carnegie Mellon curriculum. And the second 2 units of the Carnegie Mellon are broken into 2 modules of our curriculum each. So we have a total of 6 modules in our curriculum corresponding to the 4 units of the Carnegie Mellon unit curriculum. I think this should be fairly straightforward when you've had a chance to look at our syllabus and the 6 modules of which it's constructed. But if you have questions, please, by all means, get in touch, and we can try to tease out the threads to make sure that it's straightforward for you. Within each of the modules, there are some elements, some resources. The most important one probably is going to be the link to the Carnegie Mellon syllabus, so that once you're in our syllabus, you don't have to go back out. You can go directly to the corresponding Carnegie Mellon materials. Another one is a short video lecture that basically describes what you should be looking forward to or should expect in that particular module. And I apologize in advance for the deplorable production values and on-screen talent in those lectures. I definitely should have taken acting lessons. I look and sound like a reject from an audition for The Walking Dead, but I have to ask you to sort of bear with me as I learn my chops in front of the camera. There are also notes in each module that basically are an attempt to amplify or to clarify some elements of the Carnegie Mellon curriculum, adding some nuance or filling in what appeared to me to be some gaps that are worth filling. And in the first modules, you'll also find links to some external sources which are handy tools like, for example, a z-value table, tools for creating some of the graphs that are used to interpret data, and a particularly valuable one, surprisingly, is SurveyMonkey, which has, I'm sure all of you have probably used it in one way or another, or certainly familiar with it, but it has some very, very good instructional materials on survey design and question design to avoid bias in data collection. And if you're at all interested in survey methodology, it's worth taking a look at. So those module pieces then are the main structural elements, those 6 are the main structural elements of our curriculum. In addition to those, for each module, there are going to be some discussion questions which are placed in the discussion section of the course in Canvas. And those are relating to each individual module, and those come up the Sunday of the week that that module covers. You are asked to respond with a post by midnight of Thursday of that week. I will respond to all posts within at least, or at most, I should say, 48 hours, hopefully substantially less. and then the discussion will stay open for the remainder of the week over the following weekend in order to capture any interactions that come out of those discussion questions. I want to emphasize that most of those questions do not have a concrete right or wrong answer. Their purpose is to trigger your thinking about the implications of the concepts raised in the Carnegie Mellon curriculum. In the few cases where there really is a correct answer, including the one trick question that is hidden in there, those answers are pretty clearly and pretty emphatically pointed out in the curriculum materials. So they're not obscure, at least I hope they're not. And then the other resource or the other component of the curriculum that is going to require some independent action by you is the need to have access to a statistical analysis package, software package. The packages that are supported by the Carnegie Mellon curriculum are identified in the first page, the introductory page of that curriculum. For those of you who are working with a system that uses Microsoft Windows, a Microsoft Windows system, probably the easiest package for you to access and download is going to be the add-in for Excel. That is available only for Excel on Windows systems. If, like me, you have Excel on an iMac, you'll find that that particular add-in for the statistical package is not supported. I'm sorry, I just lost my connection. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear and see you, Steve.
Okay, and you can still see me. All right, all right. Sorry about that. My computer just blanked. There are others that are also supported by the Carnegie Mellon curriculum. There is an open source package called R, which is free, but for someone who is not particularly tech savvy like myself, it's not very user friendly, and I struggled with it for a while and quite honestly gave up. One that is very user friendly and quite easy to use is called Minitabs, but it's also $200. What I use on my iMac is StatCrunch. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's user-friendly, and it's $13 for 6 months. The other package that's supported by the Carnegie Mellon curriculum is the TI calculator, and I honestly haven't tried that, so I don't know what to tell you about it. It may or may not be something that you would find useful. I just can't comment on it one way or the other. So those are the main elements of the structure of the course and the resources available. As I said, we will be doing these weekly discussions using the discussion capability in Canvas once I master it. I have to tell you that I'm very much a novice at Canvas. I'm still learning it as I am the Bellevue email system. But if you have questions about it or you're also just learning it yourself, I think Pierre, perhaps you or Jennifer would be able to steer folks to the right tech help resources to work with that.
Yeah, and people just have to email us and ask, and we will set them straight.
Great. I like the way you say that. I can certainly stand to be set straight in that regard. Excuse me. Moving from the mechanics or the structure of the course, I want to talk a little bit about requirements and expectations. As I said, the good news is that you aren't expected to come into this course with any background in statistics. You are expected to have some understanding of algebra, but you won't have to use it. You are expected to participate. You are expected to post a response to each discussion question by the deadline, assuming that we are able to trigger some interaction on the basis of those posts, to participate in that as well. And what we'll be looking for is, as I said, not necessarily a correct answer, but the ability to think about the implications of the ideas that we're working with and a given problem or a given question for those ideas or how those ideas apply. We do, of course, have to grade the class. As you know, or I assume know, this is a pass-fail class, and the passing grade threshold is 70%. So we have a quantitative value that we have to establish. And that's going to be done by 3 assessment activities. The first one is at the end of the second week, and it's in the subject area of sampling and data capture. The second one is at the end of the 4th week, and that's in the area of probability. And then the third one, the last one, is at the end of the course, and that's in inference. And they're valued at 33, 33, and 34 points, respectively, for a total of 100 points. Just happens conveniently to match 100%. The default score going into the evaluation of these activities is going to be the maximum, 33, 33, and 34. Points will be deducted for errors, but I want to point out that if there is a compounding error, in other words, one error that triggers a sequence of additional errors consequent to it, they will only be deducted for the initial compounding error, not for the consequent errors, if they are consistent, in other words, if they would be correct in relation to the finding that caused the initial error. So you will then start out with 100 points, and as I say, there will be points deducted for errors. The questions for those assessment activities are open now, so you can see them, you can start looking at them and thinking about them, and you'll find that they do have what are considered correct answers, or you are expected to arrive at an answer that can be determined or judged as correct versus incorrect. So that's basically all I had. Let's open it up for questions and see what folks are thinking at this point. Anybody? Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, I can't see the course material for applied statistics in our Canvas. Is it already posted, or?
I believe it was published this morning. Esther, do you know? Oops, Esther's off. I will recheck that.
I was checking too, and I don't have anything either.
Okay, all right. I had got an email from the man who manages that, and my understanding from that email was that it had been published this morning, but I will check that, and obviously we'll get it up before Monday.
Okay, thank you. It's Esther. Can you guys hear me? I'm off mute now. Yeah, the class was published this morning. I went in and did a check as so I could see it as a student would see it, and everything looked okay. So hopefully you all can get in there and take a look at the course before Monday. If you try, please email me, and I'll put my email address here in the chat window so that if you go in and check and you don't see it, you can either email me from Canvas or you can email me directly.
Okay.
Okay. And the Carnegie Mellon units will be available through Canvas?
Yes, they're available through links in each module of the Bellevue syllabus in Canvas.
Okay, because I also don't have anything showing in my course in Canvas.
When did you check? When did you check?
I'm just logged on now to my Bellevue College, and it says that I am enrolled in one or more courses that have not started yet, and there's no material, no syllabus yet.
You know, it may have something to do with they may not allow students to get into the course before the first day. I can check on that.
It is the same for me as well. I don't see it.
Okay. All right. I'll check on that and see if I can get it made available sometime tomorrow. I'll work on it then.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. My apologies for building up false hopes here.
After everything you said, it sounds so interesting to try.
Are there any other questions while we're all together here?
Yes. Can I ask a question about programming or using those resources? How are they graded? Are we sending it to Carnegie Mellon website, or we're sending it to you?
No, you're sending it to me via Canvas.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. And to be honest, we still have to work out some of the mechanics of that. I want to try to make it as easy and user-friendly as possible.
Well, my major question was, are we sending the result, or, for example, if I use R, should we send the program to you, or should we send the result?
No, it would be sending the result in a narrative form with the relevant data embedded in the narrative.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It occurs to me that I'd be interested to know what statistical packages folks already do have available to them. For example, if you are already using R or StatCrunch or Minitabs or the Excel add-in. Are any of you working with any of those software packages now?
Yeah, this is Madhu, and I'm already using R.
You are? Grand. Yes. All right. You're way ahead of me.
No. I recently tried to take a course on data analysis through Coursera, and so I had to install R for that.
I see.
Yeah.
I will be using R as well.
I'm impressed. As I say, I tried it and gave up, so I'm very impressed.
Almost.
All right. Well, if we don't have any additional questions, I don't want to keep you any longer than necessary. Do you have, I think all of you do have my Bellevue email address, do you not? If not, let me enter it now. I go by my middle name, Steve, although my first name is John, and that's the way I'm listed in the Bellevue system. So I'll give you my email address again here. Well,
one question.
Sure.
So regarding the statistical package, do you have any preference that you want us to use, like
no.
R or is it Minitab?
No, no. I don't have a preference because I will be asking you to. There's actually only one assessment activity that involves the use of it, and I will be asking you to submit that in narrative form, so it doesn't matter which one you use. The other activities that require the use of a software package are embedded in the Carnegie Mellon curriculum, and those are for your own use. So in other words, you will be looking at the results that are generated and responding to questions from that curriculum yourself. And so it doesn't matter which package you're using for that purpose. The way those particular activities are structured, they provide you a window and you simply scroll down to select the supported package that you're using, and then the instructions that come up are the ones appropriate to that particular package.
Okay. Regarding the other softwares like the Minitab and the StatCrunch, I know there are some companies who provide a key for students if they ask it by the university. So is there any option that we can get keys for like the Minitab or the StatCrunch? I know R is free, but for the others?
I do know that the StatCrunch package is available at a student rate, which, as I say, is $12.95 or something like that for 6 months. I'm not aware of a key through the college to access them. I particularly looked for something like that when I was researching Minitabs because of the cost, and didn't find anything like that, but it would be worth a second look. You know. And as I say, I did not investigate TI calculator.
Okay.
Is there any textbook that is required also?
No, there's not. And that's one of the nice things about the Carnegie Mellon curriculum. It basically takes the place of a textbook with the interactive exercises built into it. Of course, that's just one of the advantages of an online form of exegesis. It really takes the whole place of a textbook. And the nice thing also is the fact that because the course is visible on the Carnegie Mellon Open Learning Initiative website, it could function much like a textbook after the course is over. If you have a question about something that was covered in the course a year or 2 years from now, you could go back into the Carnegie Mellon website, pull the course up and refresh yourself and even go through the exercises again. So when I think about the years I spent standing in line at bookstores trying to resell those ferociously expensive textbooks back, and the ones I kept, you know, within 2 or 3 years were obsolete. I'm really impressed by this alternative, I have to admit.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? I do certainly encourage you to get in touch if you have any additional questions as you start looking through the curriculum and or when you start working through the Carnegie Mellon materials. By all means, please get in touch. I do check the email at least 2 or 3 times a day. And as I say, when we are working the discussion questions, I will definitely respond to each post of those within a maximum of 48 hours, hopefully quite a bit less than that. So unless there are additional questions, I think, Pierre and Esther, we can probably say goodnight.
Well, sure thing. It was good having all of you online with us for a little WebEx meeting tonight. I'm glad to see you all here. Glad to talk to some of you. Steve, if you want to go ahead and pass control of the presentation back to me, you just drag the little circle.
I have to put my glasses on so I can see the circle.
Does anyone have any questions for me or for Esther?
Why am I not seeing you, Pierre?
Because I'm listed as Bellevue College.
Well, I'm still not. Well, oh, there you are. Okay. There, I think I just pressed it to you.
Yeah, you're good. All right. Going once.
Thank you, everybody, and I really enjoyed meeting all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.